If Black Lives Matter, how come you ain't cleaning up your own community? Black Lives Matter only because they want to protest for thugs. You understand what I'm saying? They're nowhere to be found in our own community. I'm still looking for them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in LA. I'm looking for them. I don't see them. But yet they want to go to police stations and they want to protest and disrespect other people. Start with us. Talk to me. Start with us. Because I have a whole lot to tell you about what's going on in our own community if Black Lives Matter. You understand me? People are sick of this foolishness. All lives matter, I understand, but yet if you want to recognize black lives, recognize the ones that we are killing in our own communities if you want to talk about this. You understand? No presidential candidate should be afraid of this superficial, shallow movement. They are cookies with no milk, Lamborghini with no 12-cylinder engine, clouds without tempest. They are shallow. You understand? There are movement going, but when you look inside, it's nothing there.
So you, as a person, as this person that has so much privilege and has never really had to internalize oppression the way that an oppressed community has.
Well, you don't know much about my background, so I just make presumptions.
Okay, but I'm saying the way that an oppressed community has. So we live in a white supremacist society. That's just...
Nope, don't buy it. We don't live in a white supremacist society.
Okay.
No, look, if you
can
think this is a white supremacist society, you should read some history.
Can I just finish my argument? So, this is my argument, and then this is probably where the disagreement occurs.
Yeah.
But so I feel like as that person, you can't speak for a community that has already organized and spoken about what they need in order to...
Why should I assume that the people who are speaking for that community are valid representatives of the community? Merely because they put themselves forward as that? We have a democracy so that people can elect representatives that have credibility. Anybody can stand up and say, I'm representing community X. Okay. That doesn't give them legitimacy apart from the integrity of their argument. So I'm not convinced at all that the people who are speaking out on behalf of X community are legitimate representatives of those communities. Just because they happen to belong, like I'm not a legitimate representative of white men, I'm just me. Yeah. Now I also happen to be white since we have to have that discussion, but that doesn't make me a representative of white people.
Tell me one thing she did at the State Department, one law she passed as a United States Senator that has benefited anyone. Give me, come on, tell me. Let's go, Coco.
Aid to the workers at 9/11.
One wants a woman president more than I do, but not a woman who is constantly under investigation, who constantly dances a federal question. If she's so transparent, why did she scrub that server? If she's so transparent, why didn't she give that server to a third party? Why did she do all that?
Because first of all, because there was nothing on it left. She had turned over all of her emails on a thumb drive.
She deleted 30,000 of them and got rid of and had the server scrubbed.
Wonderful, Pierce.
Why would you be so scathing about Rachel Jeantel and so patronizing to a young woman who's clearly been through an appalling ordeal and who, when I interviewed her, I found to be a smart cookie, like I said. I found her to be fun, warm, engaging, street smart, and clearly from her educational background, nowhere near as stupid as you like to think she is.
Once again, I never used the word stupid. You did. She was the most important witness in a murder trial. She was standing between George Zimmerman and 30 years in jail, and for you to act as if she was somehow abused by Don West, whose job was to make sure his client didn't go to jail, is outrageous. And as far as education is concerned, I applaud Mr. Joyner. He's done a lot of work in the black community for education, and I would recommend, Pierce, that we do something about the 50% dropout rate in the inner city and about the fact that President Obama opposes allowing parents to use vouchers to get their kids out of bad government schools and into a better school so they can have a possibility to get to the middle class. That's what we ought to be talking about here, instead of some aberrant situation like George Zimmerman going to somebody that he thinks is suspicious, and they have an exchange, and there's an unfortunate death, as if somehow that's some sort of indictment of America, and black people should look over their shoulders every night and act as if some white guy is going to jump out of a bush and get them. It is outrageous. Hard work wins. Get an education. Don't pay attention to negative people, and stay focused, and you'll be okay in America. That's why most of the people in the world want to come here. That's why you want to come here, Pierce.
Well, Sean, I'm happy that you want to condemn it because I think you're completely right. I don't think the Tea Party is a race. I don't think the Tea Party movement itself is racist. I think the Tea Party has been a home for racism and for people that believe in racist ideology and racist policies
now
like
give me the
neo-Nazis.
specifics. I'm waiting for the specifics. Dana's waiting patiently for the specifics.
A couple years ago when they passed the Health Care Reform Act, CBC members, this was reported by the AP, CBC members were walking out, or Congressional Black Caucus were walking out of the Capitol. They were called the N-word, they were spit upon, they were jeered.
Andrew Breitbart offered $100,000 for any evidence to back that claim up, and it didn't exist.
The AP reported it. There was an AP reporter there that reported it, Sean.
The mainstream media, Dana, can get it wrong?
Yeah, well, Richard's omitting the fact that Emmanuel Cleaver, who, by the way, is a lawmaker from my home state of Missouri, actually backpedaled on some of that, which was reported, as he's quoting, by the Associated Press. Not to mention, there were a sea of webcams there. There were a sea of iPhone cameras and handheld cameras, and not a single one of those cameras, in an era where we have such digital technology and we're able to capture absolutely everything, not a single one of those cameras, Sean, as you know, captured anything that any of these CBC members were alleging, and then of course you had Cleaver backpedaling as well. So let's report the full scope of the story and not just rely on some, oh, well, the AP said. Well, the AP also said this too.
But Richard, you said
this is bigger than any racist. Black Lives Matter is racist because all lives matter. All of our lives matter.
Do you know that the Black Lives Matter is trying to make all lives matter?
No, the Black Lives Matter is divide and conquer. You cannot running around saying things. You can't run around saying things like pigs in a blanket, fried like bacon, pigs in a bacon, fried like bacon. That's making people think it's okay to harm our cops. Some cops may be bad. Yeah, some cops are bad, yes. But not all cops are that way.
But what do we do about the bad cops?
Every cop doesn't early in the morning go to work and say, oh yeah, baby, I gotta kill me a black person.
How about
it doesn't exist.
How about locking them up when they're bad?
Going out and shooting them?
How about, I haven't shot them. How about locking them up?
If they're guilty of something,
I mean,
to
right
call
now we're
the
seeing
law.
cops walking out of Baltimore courtroom.
Because they were innocent.
But who killed
They
Freddie
were
Gray?
innocent.
So how did Freddie Gray die?
The cops didn't kill him eventually.
I didn't
they
ask
found
how
him not
they didn't
guilty.
die. How did he die?
Broke his
We
neck in
still
the
did
van.
not get the answer.
Right.
We don't. How do we know that? That's
what
the
the
problem.
autopsy said.
But
How
they've
did
had
he
their
miss
day in
the
court.
How do they know
They've
he
had their
broke
day in court, and they were found not guilty.
Broke his damn van when he was in there.
So they are accountable for something. And they're not being held
shot in a
accountable.
park just playing with a gun. Did you play with a gun? He was pointing that gun. He had taken the orange gun and was pointing it at people in the park. There was videotapes of him pointing at people in the park.
Well, can I say this? Can I say this? I'm pro Second Amendment. I'm gonna leave it at that. Go black. Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome. Thank you.
It doesn't mean bad cops are allowed to do.
My name is Kenneth Lane, and I'm from Amityville, New York. Amityville Horror. And I'm over here giving a lot of Amityville Horror. I'm giving a lot of, I'm waking people up. I'm waking up the dumb sheep. I'm letting them know that they're being played. They are being played. I mean, from the uterus, we are brainwashed. Only the people are free thinkers like myself. The establishment is afraid of. I'm a free thinker.
Give this man
That's
some water,
what
please.
I am. I got plenty of them. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm a free thinker. I don't let what they believe what they tell me, because they've been complicit in the brainwashing procedure. And everyone out there, the best thing you need to do, get rid of your TV.
Donald Trump set out these diversity outreach programs. How did you get involved?
Basically, I got in contact with Michael Cohen, who is the special counsel to Mr. Donald Trump, and I informed him that I would like to help out with the outreach for not just minorities, but for women, for Hispanics, for Asians, for Arabs, for everyone to learn about this candidate. You know, he talked about jobs and improving communities and national security, tougher immigration, schools, everything. If you're an American, you are concerned about. It doesn't matter that you're black or white or purple. I always tell people when ISIS straps on their bombs, they don't say, hey, let the black person walk by, let the Hispanic walk by, and then blow the white guy up. No, they say, I'm going to blow up Americans. They see us as Americans.
That's
and as soon as
true.
we see each other that way, the
But
better.
what do you say to people who are concerned about his comments about Mexicans are rapists, or the president's birth certificate, or Muslims shouldn't be allowed in the country? How do you address that?
What I would say is that legal immigrants are tired of fighting illegal immigrants for jobs, just like Americans are tired of fighting illegal immigrants for jobs. Every good Muslim, I don't know one good Muslim who has a problem with Donald Trump saying a radical Islamic terrorist, because they are sick and tired of the stain that comes on the religion when you have this minority, this few that's ruining it all for the entire religion. That's the same thing as far as with black people. All black people aren't bad. We all work. We do what we're supposed to do. But you have pockets in our communities that are shooting people. Right here in Chicago, 3,600 dead in the black community. And so we have got to be concerned about one another. And what Donald Trump is saying is, look, I want to be the president of the United States. I don't want to be the president of black America, white America.
So you'd want to see stop and frisk
America.
on the south and west side?
Stop and frisk is already on the south side and the west side of Chicago. I'm in the courtroom every single day. And a lot of my clients that come in have been stopped and frisked, and they found guns or drugs or whatever. And some of them, they were innocent. Don't get me wrong. But that's going on every single day. The truth is bitter, but we have to swallow it. The Democratic Party, I voted for over 20 years of my life. I voted for Barack Obama when he said he was going to bring hope and change. And yes, we can. And no, we didn't. The jobs didn't come. The better schools didn't come. The investment in our communities did not come. National security, our borders are open. We're not safe. We're not safe. And we've got to stop thinking as black and white and purple and Arab. We've got to start thinking as Americans. And that's what Donald Trump is saying.
When you were talking about America's values and about how great America is,
Yep.
you failed to mention that our nation was built on the power of white men without the acknowledgement of black people, the Indians, women at least. So do you not think that men and women are equal? Do you not acknowledge the problems that we have here in America that does, in fact, not make America great?
All right, it's a perfectly reasonable, respectful question. Let's be respectful.
Thank you.
On the first half of your question, women don't agree with you. Fewer than 1 in 5 women in America describes themselves as a feminist, even though over 85% of them believe in inequality between the sexes. Why? Because they know that feminism has become something different now. They know that the feminism you're talking about, it's very convenient, isn't it, to sort of treat men like shit, and then when people say, I'm not a feminist, say, oh, but feminism's out of quality. That's not what feminism has become. It's not what feminism is anymore. Feminism is a mean, vindictive, spiteful, nasty, man-hating philosophy.
So
that
why
has very
would you
little, well, let me
promote-
finish, because I let you finish, okay? That has very little to do with the equality of the sexes and a lot to do with man-hating. And the way that you know that is women are abandoning it in their millions. Women don't want feminism anymore. They have rejected your version completely. They don't agree with you. In the UK, the numbers are even worse. Just 7% of women in the UK describe themselves as feminist, despite the fact that 92% of women in the UK believe in equality of the sexes. It's very clear what's happening. They don't believe that those two things mean the same, because if they did, they'd give the pollsters the same answer to both those questions. Women know that feminists say one thing and do another. Women know that the primary purpose of feminism these days isn't to promote equality, it is to beat down on men. So you've lost, you have a big PR problem on your hands, and when you come up and say, well, how dare you not mention that it's actually just about equality of the sexes, don't you believe in equality of the sexes? I very clearly said in my speech multiple times that I do, and that I love women, that I care about them. But, this sleight of hand that feminists play when they're perfectly happy to treat men like shit and spread these conspiracy theories about the patriarchy, these lies about the wage gap, lies about campus rape culture, and then turn around and play the victim and play innocent and say, feminism's just about equality. Give me a break. Give me a break.
So